So let's move toward the main thing, which is the like guessing game. It's just fun way guessing, like what you do in most of the programming. Just input a number and guess it, like either you input the right that you just guessed or not. So let's move toward it and start it out with the println guessing a game. So this, all of the things that we'll do is just to familiarize you with the script. Okay, so first of all, println guessing a game, that's good. And at second point, like what you should have a variable where you can store your input from the terminal, like what the number that you will type from the terminal, and you will also generate some random number here in the like in the file, and then you will type some number from the terminal, and your type number will be matched with some random number that either they are equal or less, or guesses how far and how close it is. So let's have a variable here to store your input. You can call it just input, and what the type of this will be string, and here you can type just new string colon double colon new. So what this string is and what this new is, you don't have to pay too much attention. What this actually are doing is just to create an object of string via using new, and you just created the object, you can say, and you can use this object for storing your input. And let's move toward the second thing, which is like having a random number, or you can just test it out first, like it's working or not, via just importing the input output library into the file. So let's import input output io std, and then read line. So by the way, what you have to do here is just to first import this IO, because this IO and input output std means standard, and what you will write ahead is like read line. These are the functions or the things that are not in this file, and whatever the thing that is not available in this file in like .rs is out of the prelude, and this keyword prelude is what like the thing that is not available. Like in this prelude word, which is mostly used in the Rust language, is just simple thing. Whatever the package like string, we have used this string, this is a string, by the way. This string is a struct. We'll explore it what the structs are, but this string struct is available in this file .rs, in the extension of file .rs. This string is available here, and this is called like this string is in the prelude. But if something is not in the available like directly in this file, so that thing will be out of the prelude, and you have to import it in this file. So that is what I am like right now doing it, just to import this input output library from the standard library, and you can perform some of the operations. So IO, just import it, and you can say here it is imported from standard library. So IO double colon std in, and then you can, this is a function on IO, and then what you can call is read line. Read line is also a method. There is a difference between method and function, so you can just say it a method is a method on std in as well. And here will go is, and what this actually read line is doing is it will just read the input from the terminal, and it will store into some variable. So what the variable it will store into is this input that we have just defined above, and this will store the input from the terminal in this variable. And yeah, why this giving some error here is because you have to have this as a like mutable variable, and what this mutable variable is we will talk about in detail. This is the most important topic. So what you just have to do right now is just put a mute here, mut or mute, you can call it whatever you want. What this mute actually does is this actually does make the input variable mutable. This is like concept in the Rust, mutable and non-mutable. If you will not mention this mute keyword with any of the variable, these all of the variables will be non-mutable. But if you mention this mute keyword with any of the variable, all of these mentioned variable will become mutable, and you can change their like values. And of course, here the variable input should be mutable, because we are thus typing any of the input from our terminal that is mutable, that is not constant. So it should be mutable, and you can pass it just via reference from here, and you just like put the mute keyword here as well. So that's just red line went out, and now you can have input directly into the into this variable. Now let's just try it out and print this input variable here as well. Input, our input, you can just say it like that, and just ahead of it you can have this, you have to have this bracket, because you are just typing the variable here. So what this curly brackets are doing, thus just pointing out toward this variable, like there will be some string output and some output of a kind of variable on the terminals. So what this like curly brackets are saying, these are saying that you will have some input variable here as well as the string. So if you want to have the string and plus some variable, you have to have this curly bracket. So just write it down and save it, and just run on the terminal cargo run, and what you will get is now this thing is paused here by printing out guessing a game, because it is waiting this line io.st. Actually, I am always habitual like saying standard in, but you can call it as stdin. So stdin dot readline. So it will be just paused here, because it's waiting for your input, and whenever you will type some input, it will enter. It will just go to the next line and printing out your output, or input 5. So okay, so far so good. And now what you have to do is to proceed ahead. Now I have stored our value into a variable while taking from the console. Now what we have to do is to have some random variable where you can just put some random number, and then you can compare with your input from the console. So let's just have some random variable like random digit or number as well. And how you can have this number is via rand library, which is not in the which is not available in some standard library. So what you have to do is just to import this crate or this package from the cargo. Okay, so what you have to do to import or download this rand package is just you have to go to cargo toml. Don't have to do anything, just to go to cargo.toml file, and what you have to do is write rand, and then what you can do is just to mention the like version number of the package, whatever you want to like mention. Here are like a lot of versions of this package. Here we can go with 8.0.5. so here you just save this, and just get rid of this one as well. And first, so what you will have to do now is just to run cargo build or cargo run. You can choose any of these, and now what it is doing is just downloading all of your packages that are mentioned in the cargo toml file. And yeah, here you can see another important file, cargo.log. Actually what this does is keep track of all of the packages versions that are mentioned in cargo.toml file. So what that is actually helpful for cargo itself. Whenever you run cargo build or run, cargo will check each of the packages that are installed, each of the crates, like we can say crates to the packages or libraries that you are just downloading, like rand. So cargo will track according to cargo.log file each of your crates, and can fetch and can download whatever the specifically thing that you have mentioned. So this is where cargo.log comes in. We will go into much details in the next episodes, but for this, like, that's enough detail. So it's just like downloading the package. So just to wait for it, and let's see after that's done.
A few moments later.
Okay, so actually I have faced some issue that was like related to cargo. Cargo was not updated to at my like MacBook. So I was facing this kind of issues. And in any case, like if you face this kind of issue, what was the error was there, like blocking waiting for file lock on package cache. So this was the issue. There was some kind of outdated cache. So what the solution for this? Just like copy paste these two commands, and you go. So this issue will be resolved via running these two commands. What these will do, like remove all kind of the cache, and then again what you have to do is then just run this command cargo run or build, and this issue will be like resolved. So yeah, that was the important point. That was the issue I've just recently faced, and not faced like in the past. Never faced in the past. So okay, I'm just leaving these comments here, and I will push it in onto the repo, into the GitHub. So I'll put the link in the description that you can just clone the GitHub repo, and all of the code that we are just practicing here will be live in the GitHub. So I'll put the link in the description that you can download. Okay, so let's move ahead, and now this package rand package is downloaded, and rand crate actually. So you can call it crate or package, whatever you want. In Rust terminology, like we call it crates kind of thing. Okay, so this crate is now just downloaded and installed, and what you can do is now let's have some random input from it, and but this can be like rand input, or you can, or what you can call it, like you can call it or you can just call it like random input. Okay, just import the rand, and then thread range. And what you can do from now is, and just what you have to like put the method here is general range, and here we go. And when you just hit the enter, it automatically like imported it rand package, and just put it at the top. So we are good with that, and here you can just put the range from where to where you want to have some random input. So I want it from 1 to 100, and that's it. This will generate some random input whenever this main function will be running. So yeah, okay, this, by the way, this is the main function where all of your like main code will goes, and you can create some other kind of functions here outside, and wherever the whatever you will like create outside this main function, you have to like call it in the main, or you have to import in the main. Otherwise the things outside of main will not run. This is the important point that just came into mind. And yeah, okay, so let's move ahead, and now we have our guess input. You can, by the way, you can just call it as guess, not some kind of good naming convention. This will be our guess, and yep, okay. So what you have to do now is just to filter out your guess, and trim it from both of the sides, so you can make it a little better. So let's have again guess is equal to guess dot trim dot parse. So what we are doing now, you will wonder, like we are just declaring this guess variable again. And yes, you can do this in Rust. This is the thing that you can only do in Rust, I think so. So that's the amazing thing, and we will learn this in detail. This is the main and core concept of the Rust language. So this is the important one. We'll go deep into the incoming episode. So that's it for now, that you can declare first define variable again. So just did this, let guess is equal to then guess dot trim dot parse. So why we are doing trimming here? Whenever you just input something from console and then you hit enter, that enter just added some kind of trailing spaces to the input, like slash n or any kind of thing that enter can add to the to your input. So to make your input clean and trimmed from both of the sides, you can do like this. So this is just you are doing, and what you have to do now is you have to mention the type here, type of the input. So as Rust is the type language, you have to mention the type. And you will be thinking of like, hey Shweb, we haven't mentioned the type for this variable. Yeah, we haven't mentioned the type, but what Rust did is, that's the magic of Rust. Rust automatically like deduce the type of the variable that you are defining here. So Rust compiler just see at the type of the like operation or the expression that you are doing here, and just automatically assign the type of that kind of expression to your variable. And that is what it is doing here. Like this is assigning i32 to the rand input variable. So this is the type, this is automatically generated from Rust compiler. And but here we have to like here Rust compiler is a little confused because we are doing a couple of operations here, like trim and then parse. What parse is does is it just convert the type to some other kind of like types. We'll go deep into the parse, what this parse actually do, but for now, just for the syntax purposes here. So here we have to mention it like u32, but this u32 is, it is unsigned 32 integer. It is unsigned 32 integer type that you are mentioning here. And if I just remove this type, what I am noticing here is that Rust is not able to like deduce or automatically type the, what's happening here is Rust is not automatically deducing the type from the operation here, because we are doing a couple of operations. So what we have to do is intentionally type the uh, type of the variable. So here the error is just gone, but now here we have some other squiggly line. What this line is saying, like what's the error? Okay, so what you have to do here now is you have to have expect here some kind of this failed to trim or parse. So what this thing will do is actually this parse method, what this parse is doing, if I hover over it, you can say it is returning result. And what this result is an enum which have two types. The first one is okay, the actual like output, and the second one is error. You can see over here, the first one is the actual output, and if there is something error with it, it will return this type. So that's why we have to expect here. And what this expect is doing, will cover this in detail, but for now this expect is handling the error type. Like if you don't have any kind of valid input from the terminal, then this expect will handle the error instead of crashing all of the program. If you don't put expect here, it will crash the program and it will not run. But if you like putting the expect, it is nicely handling the error states. So that's why we are putting the expect here. Now you can see the error is just gone. Okay, so now let's move ahead and just have our final step, which is comparing. Now we have to compare our guess that we have just like gave the input from terminal, and the other thing is this random input. So we have to compare our guess with this random generated number. So let's have a match expression here. And what this match expression is do, let me write the script first, then I will explain to you. So match, and then what we can do is write the guess variable here. Then we can have a compare method on it, on this guess variable. And here in this parameter we can pass random rand input. But what we have to do is we have to pass it via reference. So yeah, you have to just put the ampersand here. So this is like major concept in the Rust as well, pass by reference and pass by value. So what this ampersand is doing, it is saying that hey, compare method, don't just clone the random input again. Just what to do is just take the reference of first created variable at some point in the memory. So if you don't like put the ampersand here, what it will be doing is it's just cloning the random input again and creating mess into the memory. So we don't want to do that. We just only have to put the ampersand here and it's just passing the variable by reference. So that's it for this compare like matching expression. And yeah, what we have to do now is just define our comparisons. And to do so we have another enum in the Rust, and this enum is called ordering. This ordering is the enum. Like if you, I'm supposing that you are familiar with the enum, because the prerequisites of this course, this series will be like you should be familiarized with some of the language and basic concepts. And what this enum is just like simply if you define some enum, uh, we can define enum in a way like fruit. Okay, so fruit can be, it can be mango, it can be banana, and it can be grapes. So what enum is does, it just, it just like a like constant variables, just kind of this thing. So you just define your types and then you can compare at some point with some other variables. So you just type your you just enter your types are like constant or enums here, and you can compare via this via using this script fruit dot mango with some any kind of other variable. So this is just quick example of the enum. We'll explore this enum in detail in the in the incoming episode, but for now we have this enum ordering as a, as in the prelude in the Rust. So these have three kind of like types on it. The first one is lesser less. So okay, the first one is less, which just compare your this this comparison. And yeah, okay, so ordering less, and then what you can type is just println the guess, the guess is less. Okay, and at the second point what we have is ordering greater. So what this actually doing is we are comparing, this is the comparison and this is the uh, arms, like arms. This is the how match expression work is actually, first of all we have this match keyword, then at the second point we have this expression, and then at third point we have these arms. So what these arms do is this just compares this comparison output with all of these arms. Like let's suppose we are comparing this guess with this random input. If the guess is less than random input, then this like expression will run. And if the guess is like greater than random input, then this expression will be executed. And if this guess is equal to this random input, then our third like comparison, our expression will run, and which is equal. So these are the enums which will be automatically compared. You don't have to like be confused here, like how this comparison is being like compared with these things. This is just doing automatically, because match expression know what it have to do. Just you have to mention the comparison here and the other like expressions here. That's it. So println the guess is greater, and here println again the guess is equal. That's it. So this is what you have to do. Now the error is gone because I have just stated all of its expressions and like its required lines here, so that's why just the array is just gone. So now let's execute it, cargo run, and now it will asking me to enter the input. If I enter the input here, the guess is less. By the way, we can also add to print first the random input so that we can know what we are comparing with. So let's just print ln rand input, which will be rand input. Okay, so now we can also see what this random function is generating. We can run it again, and it's asking for to input the string, or like some number, input the number. So what this random number generated is, it's 100. So if I put 5 and hit enter, it will say the guess is less. And if I run it again, the now random number generated is 92, and if I enter 99, it will say the guess is greater. And if I run it again, the random number generated is 52, and if I enter the same one, then it will say the guess is equal. So this match expression is handling this, like very out of the box way. What you have to do is just to write down your comparison here, expression here, and rest is just handling on its own. You just have to enter the message or kind of anything here. By the way, you can also write it down in curly brackets, and you can perform any other kind of operation. Like, there are a lot of things to do with this match expression. We will explore in the incoming episodes. So this was our guessing game. You can make it, you can improve it more. Like, if I give to you the assignment, this could be, you can generate, you can like implement loop on it, implement loop. So what this loop will do, whenever we are running like cargo run, we put the input here and just like break out. What you can do is just run the loop on it, implement the loop, so it will keep iterating, and then you can like just putting your numbers and guessing it, and at the end what you can do is just break this loop here. Yeah, so this is giving error because we don't have the loop here now, but you can like put the loop here as well. So let's put the just quickly a loop here, and here you go. This is just the syntax for loop. And by the way, this is the simplest loop in the Rust, which is just keep iterating until you don't break it out at some point. So whenever the guess will be equal, we will break it out. Otherwise it will be like keep iterating and keep asking you like give me the input, give me the input. So this is for like this episode. Will Don't worry at all, like if you haven't fully covered or fully understood each of the thing. I'm sure like you haven't picked any of the things like completely and totally, because we haven't like explored each of the things deeply. But in coming episodes, each of these lines will be an entire episode, because we will be exploring things very deeply. So don't worry at all if you didn't get at some of the points. Just practice it out, so you can just make some hands-on practice to get to know with the syntax. So that's it for this episode. So see you in the next episode. Till then, bye bye.